Welcome back, people. I'm Old Spy, and today we're going to take on two bosses, the Capra Demon and the Gaping Dragon. Before we head out, I do want to take a look at our character. You can see we've got the 2020 with Vitality and Endurance, and we now have Strength and Dexterity at 14 and 14. We're going for 15 and 15, and then we're going to continue to level up Vitality and Endurance. So that's what we're looking at right now. And let's go fight some bosses. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head back to the aqueduct, do the shortcut that we opened up last time for Lower Undead Burg. That is our first destination. Take these guys out for the 4 billionth time. All right. Yep, so we're heading down here through the shortcut. Might as well pick up one extra charcoal while we're at it. Very useful vendor right there. Okay, as we head down here, this is actually the part where this whole entire walkthrough has a chance to go completely sideways. And it's all because of this next boss. And there's a lot of, especially at the start, there's a lot of randomness and a little bit of luck that plays into it, which is one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of this boss fight. And I guess I can talk about it more afterwards, because then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to go down to this. Yeah, okay, we still got our fast rolls, then we got a full complement of armor. We can go ahead and top off. We're going to light up our sword in just a second. Now what you're going to see when you start this fight, you're going to have three things. You're going to have the boss itself, the Capra Demon, and then you're going to have two of those dogs that we just fought running around. Now the goal is going to be to, as soon as you walk through, the Capra Demon is coming straight for you with an attack. And you need to avoid that attack and get to there's a stairway on the left. You want to get on there and get up as fast as possible. Now the problem is, if you try to go directly for it, usually that dog gets in your way and then you kind of get stuck. The dogs are really good at blocking that staircase. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to veer to the right just a little bit past the first attack. Then I'm going to go for the staircase and we're going to see if that works. Let's give it a shot. Oh no, that's not good. I'm gonna get hit there. It didn't go up high enough. But my, oh no, what a mess. Look out. That was nice. Okay, we're in good shape. So now what you want to do is you want to stay about right here. You don't want to go all the way over. And you want to hope that he doesn't attack. Keep your shield up. Alright, so he's going to walk out. As long as you keep your shield up, you'll be alright right here. Okay, there he goes. Alright, so when he falls, now we're going to do a plunging attack on him. And we're going to kind of do the rinse and repeat on that. Go ahead and light our sword back up. So now this boss is okay. This is the easiest method right there to take him out. You can fight him down here on the ground if you want to challenge and you want to feel a little bit less cheesy. You can go ahead and fight him down here. But he does hit super hard. Whoops. And there's a lot of stuff that gets in your way too. You need to just kind of back up, reset him. That was a good one. Gonna get out of there. There we go. Woo! Capra demon down. Thankfully. Yeah, so that's definitely one of my least favorite boss fights, and I think it could be really cool if you just kind of walked in here and you were in this tight little space and you just had to fight the Capra demon. I think those two dogs just ruined the fight, and maybe it would be too easy. I think it would be a lot of fun just going one-on-one with him in this small little space. Either way, he's down. We're going to return to full night mode, as not to betray the namesake. Alright, so let's continue on here. We got 5 Estus. If you're not comfortable, you can reset, go back to Firelink, get your 10 back, because it is a quick run. We're going to go ahead and head down. To the depths. So when you defeat him, you get the key, which finally opens up this door. Right here. So that's how we're going to continue on. Now, when you come into the depths, this is one of the places where it's very important to take things very slowly. You don't want to rush around down here. Because even though it just looks like a bunch of basic enemies, you start moving around real fast and they just start coming out of the woodwork, man. And you can get overwhelmed really quick. Especially with all those torch hollows down there. So, take it nice and slow. Shield up. One more. All right, now as you approach these stairs, don't let this dog lure you out into the middle of this room. That's what it's trying to do. So you want to stay there and fight it. Because if you get out here, then you're going to be fighting 2 dogs and the butcher, and that's not a good. It's not a good fight for us. In fact, one dog in the butcher is a pain in the butt as it is. Yeah, these guys move quickly, so. Oof. Easy way to handle them. Go for a backstab, especially when they do that two-handed power attack. Easy to circle around them. You do want to watch that their offhand weapon will bypass your block. It will pull your shield down. So don't let him hit you with that, thinking that you're going to be safe. If he comes at you with his little hook thing, that thing right there, just back away from that. You can't block it. Alright, and got the large ember, which is going to help us, or which will allow us to take our weapons past +5. So we can now use the large titanite shards. Alright, so we have the master key, so we can actually take a shortcut to get around to the other side. But I will go ahead for the sake of this. We have 4 Estus. Should be enough. I will show you the long way. There is a shortcut there. Maybe I'll double back and show both. This is also a good place to show the rusted iron ring. Oops, let's do this. And be careful because there's 2 dogs, but as long as you don't go near them, they won't mess with you. So you can see how we're moving in the water. Really slow. Throw on that rusted iron ring and you get full mobility. So pretty useful, but obviously not enough to warrant us equipping it right now. Hop up here. There's an ambush up there waiting for you. But if you go through here, here is your one of your pyromancy vendors. Roll through so you don't hit him. So now he's going to relocate to Firelink. And when we walk out, second butcher is going to drop down. Now this is definitely a much tighter space for fighting this. So I would lure her over here. Again, just be mindful of that, her offhand, that little hook. Ooh, that was a bad spot. Got kind of lucky there. And we'll go for a strong attack. And you get the sack. You want to do a butcher cosplay. But we don't. So continuing on down here. Alright. Now up here is some slime that's going to drop down and do a number to you if you get caught by it. Like I just did. I was trying to bait it out there. So what you want to do is you want to bait it out. And here's the problem, because this guy just happens to stumble about. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out of that water. Have him chase us up here. Alright. And now, find this slime. There he is. So you can see just regular, we're not doing that much damage. But throw some fire on there. And those things are pretty easy to take out. Get a soul item. Okay. So again, be careful. And we're going to take these guys out. Now this part is, this little run here is a decent spot to farm for upgrade materials, large titanite shards and green titanite shards. Now the drop rate isn't great and we don't have any farming equipment, so they probably won't drop anything. But just remember that if you're in need of, let's say, 1 or 2 large titanite shards for an upgrade, you can start from this bonfire and just do that run. I would recommend that you have some charcoal pine resin with you and just run back and forth there. Okay, so what I want to do is show you the shortcut now, the other method. So we're going to run back to where we fought the first butcher. Just remember, stay on the outside. And back here, we're going to go ahead and drop down. Now, this enemy here can be quite brutal. So you do need to be careful. I'm going to go ahead and try a plunging attack. You see, we don't do much damage. Swing away as rapidly as possible, because that thing hits hard and it inflicts poison damage. So, or it inflicts poison. So you definitely do not want to get caught up in this room. It can be a mess. Okay, so we drop down from this side. On the same side, you're going to have the sewer chamber key, which would have opened the door that we already opened because we had the master key. And now we have this. So you want to stay, when you walk up to this ledge, you want to stay all the way to the left, and you want to slide down all the way to the left, holding left all the way. Otherwise you will fall into the deeper part of the depths. We don't want to go there just yet. So now we head back up here. Pop open this door, which we can't open from the other side. So now that that's open, that's a pretty big shortcut. And we're back at the bonfire. And let us go ahead and do a little bit of leveling up while we're here. There we go. So now we'll have our 15 and 15 for our attack power. And we'll be ready to start going back to vitality and endurance the next time we level up. Actually, let's also take a moment to repair our equipment, which we can now do at a bonfire since we bought that from the merchant before we killed him. Whoops. I would also recommend, if you're going to fight the gaping dragon, I would also recommend putting that at upgrading your bonfire. So you got the 10 uses, just in case. Alright, do be careful because there's some slime on the ceiling. That will try to drop down on you. See him up there? You can barely see him poking through. So make sure you don't walk underneath there. Alright, so we're going to head this way. The boss is up that way. There's also a vendor there. We're going to get attacked by a rat while I'm talking. And again, don't underestimate the rats, because they are a pain. But they do drop humanity, so if you need to farm some humanity, these three guys are probably a good spot to do it. Okay, so when you come around here, since we are not hollowed, we're in human form, we are going to get invaded. Go down here a little ways. I'm not even exactly sure what triggers it. Oh, watch out for these guys too. So here is Kirk. And you do have to be careful because he will hit you with some bleed status. You can see. He's not very smart. Just keep your shield up, circle around. We're going to two-hand, and we're going to take him out. And he does have a chance to drop his weapon and his shield, which he did not, but make sure you retrieve his dark spirit for a humanity. Alright, so we're going to continue on this way, and you need to be very careful as you come this way because of that basilisk that I just fought. And these guys right here, they cause curse with their that fog spray that they do is curse, so you do have to be very careful. Get out of that. Make sure you get out of those clouds. That's the scariest thing about these guys. But if you hit them, you can interrupt it. Just make sure you do not get cursed, because it will kill you. And it will cut down your life bar, your health bar, and it will just be a complete mess. Fortunately, you can buy purging stones in a couple different places. Also, down here I would recommend that you finally make use of your fire bombs, which we have not really used. It's a great way to take these guys out. Easiest way to take them out, fire bombs. Uh-oh. Whew. Heavy attacks work well because they move your character forward. And they drop the Eyes of Death, which are a covenant item. All right, once they're out of the way, you're pretty much in the clear. And you pick up the Ring of the Evil Eye, which can be pretty useful. So every time you kill an enemy, you absorb some hit points from them. Typically works well with shields that aren't 100% block. So if you're in an area where a shield that has higher magic defense over physical defense is better, when you equip that and you put the ring on, if you take any physical damage, once you kill that enemy, typically you get most of your HP back. There's one more item I forgot here. I'm getting ahead of myself. And this jump always gets me. You can roll across apparently for a useful humanity. Whoops. Alright, so now it's time to take on the boss. Second boss of the episode. And we made it through there pretty good. We have full Estus, so we're in good shape. Alright, so before we go to fight the boss, we're going to talk to this guy. And we're going to learn his gesture. And we're going to purchase all of his gold pine resin. He sells 3 of them. He also sells some crystal stuff, which is pretty good for boosting your damage a little bit at this point. We're not going to buy any. He sells the assortment of arrows and bolts. And he also sells his equipment, which is pretty cool.
Thank you. That was a fine trade. I have this funny...
Now, once you defeat this boss, he will relocate back to Firelink Shrine on the bottom of the aqueduct where you had to make that jump across. And you can actually, once you defeat certain bosses, you can get their armor from him. So he's pretty useful. Oops. Come down here, we can see Solaire summon sign. And if you summoned and used Lautrec, his sign will be down here too. I believe it's either here. It's in one of these corners. I think it might be right here. So you can summon Lautrec for this. I would recommend not summoning anybody for this fight because they tend to make it a little more difficult. And you'll see, because you want to kind of control this boss's behavior. And with those guys in there, they tend to throw him off a little bit. So it does kind of make it a little bit more difficult. Alright. We're going to light up our sword with some lightning. And we're heading in. Alright, Gaping Dragon. So what you want from him is this right here. You want him to do that. When he does it, run up. There's a little floppy face nose thing, and then get out of the way. Oh, we forgot to kill that channeler. That's going to be a pain in the butt. Totally forgot about that. That's my bad. You want to kill that channeler, but we may not have to really worry about him. Famous last words. As long as we can keep the dragon doing what we want to stay out in front of him when he turns. Just keep moving to avoid that. See, there we go. That's what we want. We want that. Keep getting that slam. About 4 swings, and then get on the outside of him. We're gonna light our sword back up. That guy's really not hitting that hard. It's just more of an annoyance than anything. Get our shield back out. And we're actually going to be able to finish him off by hitting his tail here. And that's it. Gaping Dragon. Looks super intimidating, but he's actually really easy. And we want to make sure we don't get killed by that guy after. Yeah, I knew there was something I forgot. So when I did the shortcut, I went to the bonfire, then I did the shortcut. I did bypass a little bit of a run to get to where that giant rat is. And that guy's on the way. And once you kill him once, you don't have to worry about him. So I did forget about that. So make sure you're aware of that. I'll actually show you where he's at. We got a few minutes. I can head that way. All right, we got a couple things. So we got the key to Blighttown. Try to do this as quick as possible. And that actually opens up this big old door right here. And we are not going to go that way, as you can see. That place does not look friendly. And honestly, I rarely ever go that way when I play through. And there's only, whoops. There's very specific reasons why I would go that way. For just a couple specific items. And if I don't need those items, if I'm not going to use them, I wouldn't recommend going that way. So that's just my take on the whole thing. Alright, so what we didn't do, because of the way that we ended up moving around this upper level here, was we didn't come out this way. And you got little rats here. And be careful, because they can poison you. Great axe, strength weapon, if you're into that sort of thing. Okay, so this is one thing that you want to do before you fight the boss. This is the part that I forgot. Just going to turn this into a little bit of a longer episode, but we'll be alright. So you can see he's already all riled up. He's been up here looking for a fight. And you want to fight him by himself up here before the rats get involved. Take him out. He's down. You don't have to worry about him anymore. And you come fight the rats. Ideally, you want to fight these guys one at a time because of that. So normally they're out in a different position. They're out front. That was kind of a very stupid death, but whatever. Normally they're out and they're in a set position out in front, and they won't come running up. And they were buffed up that time, so no big deal. We're just adding some time onto this episode because we do have to get those souls. But this is actually also a great time for me to demonstrate the usefulness of the Ring of Sacrifice. So if you got some souls on the ground, it's a great time to throw on the Ring of Sacrifice. It will give you at least 2 chances to redeem them. A nice little safety net. The more you have, the more chances you'll get, obviously. One of the things, your souls aren't going anywhere. So if you have a lot of souls on the ground like we do right now, do not rush to get them. That's going to lead to a death every time. Just take it slow. You know, go through the motions of taking out all the enemies. We're actually just going to... Okay, so now they're in the position that they're usually in. Actually... You can see it takes quite a bit to aggro him. Let's see if I can get a firebomb on him. I don't know why I'm messing with him, but I just kind of want to show the part that I missed. Alright. So this is how you want to deal with them, right here. One at a time, nice and easy. You can see fire does quite a number on them. Okay. Drawing this episode out quite a bit. I wanted to make it pretty concise, but I did forget about this, so come back here. Large Titanite shard. Very useful. These guys look like they're gonna follow us. This guy's gonna try to take off. Alright, if that guy runs, don't follow him. I would recommend two-handing your weapon in these tight quarters if you're using the broadsword, because it doesn't swing as wildly horizontally. Alright, so when we come out here, this is where the big rat was. This is actually where we dropped down, just to show you everything. And that item we should have got when we were up there, but I forgot. It's the spider shield, and you can grab that if you want. We don't really need it. I never use it, so unless it goes along with whatever particular fashion I have, I don't use it. Alright, so that is that. Let's head up to the bonfire here. We'll pop our soul items, level up, and we'll call it quits. Alright, 23 and 23. Pretty good. Alright, so that takes care of this episode. Next time we're going to be heading to Darkroot Garden, I believe. So we'll head out of the depths on the next episode and head over there through the Undead Parish. So I'll see you on the next episode.